so behind that, I mean, is there any, so like ZFS, for example, has there been any changes to any of the technologies underneath?
Well, that's the second part. So I said those are all the things that are cool and new to people who drank the Solaris. No, we don't look at this. I don't have a script. So all these things that are cool and easy and new to Solaris people, but what we tend to forget is that we're addressing a market of people who don't know what the heck a Solaris is. So that's where we can talk about ZFS, we can talk about D-Trace, we can talk about predictive self-healing, which by the way is one of the most wonderful technologies that Solaris has if you're using an AMD or an Intel system, because we have this close relationship, closer than just about any other OS vendor in the world, these close relationships with AMD and Intel, and it means we can do things like detect memory failures and correct them and do some wonderful things like that. That's all baked in for free. And then as you said, it gets better in OpenSolaris.
So but comes with more Ginzu knives.
Yes, and yes, the snake knives, Mrs. Metesky. So the thing, nobody's going to get that. So thank you for being here today. No. ZFS, predictive self-healing, and the snake knives. So the thing that makes ZFS better now, and much more wonderful, is that it's the default file system. And that means that we can now take advantage of some of the features like snapshotting and rollback and just bake it into this core OS technology. So here we have this image package repository. We're bringing in leading edge, this very minute packages, and one of them's busted. What do? Well, now we can press the big green rollback button, and ZFS will automatically do an undo and take it back to where we were before we did that install, cleanly and quickly.
So the ZFS wasn't the default file system before for Solaris?
No. That's going to happen in an update to Solaris later, and that's kind of, once again, how this all ties in together, is that OpenSolaris is the leading edge of Solaris technologies, which will eventually bake back into the standard Solaris release.
Okay, so let's get back to the OpenSolaris new look and feel. Can you talk a little bit about that? New logo, all that?
Sure. So we, this is, you know how things are around here at Sun. There's not a lot of logos, not a lot of brands. OpenSolaris has been completely redone. There is a brand new logo. We refer to it as kind of the bubbles logo, and there's some blue and green and black bubbles in there. So there's a brand new logo that's been out to the community where people have kind of seen it. There is a brand new template and brand around OpenSolaris. So you won't see the S-curves, you won't see the orange. It is all new and fresh and different. So you'll see presentations, you'll see banners, you'll see ads, you'll see all kinds of stuff, you know, and our hats and our t-shirts and everything around OpenSolaris has a brand new look and feel from Sun. So it is a new brand that we're launching on May 5th as well.
We're fully expecting people will be downloading the OS just for the new branding. It's going to be that exciting.
Wow.
You're kidding.
I am. Yes, I am.
Okay. So are we going to be keeping it kind of separate the way we do with the Java logo and the Java website and all that? Is there going to be any separation from sun.com?
There will be some separation. Actually, we're launching a brand new website, OpenSolaris.com. That will be live on May 5th as well. So the new brand, the new look, the new website, that's a website where users can go to get more information. That's where they go to get and download the product itself. So they could get the product, they could learn about it, they could share information, get access to repositories and so forth. So all available and accessible from this new website. So yeah, it is like a separate
entity
in and of itself. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Okay. It's not sun.com, it's actually OpenSolaris.com.
And where is the announcement? I mean, what is it, like a virtual announcement in person? Is it a press release? What does it kind of consist of?
You know, there's a couple of different ways that we're actually announcing OpenSolaris. First off, on May 1st, we're actually having a live web chat, including some of our key technical experts like Ian Murdoch and Stephen Hahn, who's a distinguished engineer here at Sun. And we'll have a 2-hour live discussion talking about some of the features of OpenSolaris. We'll follow that on with a big bang announcement at Moscone at Community One on May 5th. And we will announce and launch our new logo and branding, talk about the new release. It will become available on that date for download and distribution. So Community One in San Francisco is it.
So one question I have is, what is Community One?
Yes, okay. So Community One is actually a precursor to Java One. So it is the day before Java One actually begins. And it is a day of sessions, keynotes, and tracks where the communities, so OpenSolaris communities, open source communities, can come and give updates to their products, have sessions, learn more about different technologies, very much developer focused around open source technologies.
So it's the broader development community beyond even what we've been hitting with Java 1 all these years. And we're now going out to the bigger ones, the folks who are doing OS development, who are maybe doing something like Ruby even, or Linux, or anything of that sort.
I got invited on Facebook to be I did write some PHP and things like that, and to do a mashup. I think it was at Community One,
yes.
right? I'm going to go and write some code or something. I'm going to make
Cool.
something break or a virus or something.
Ah, that's
That's
excellent.
my plan. Cool.
So there's cool stuff. Actually, there's one cool thing that's happening that we actually are talking with a bunch of our campus ambassadors. And on May 5th, there's going to be this Install Fest, kind of a global Install Fest of 13 universities around the world. About 1,500 students will actually be installing OpenSolaris and playing with it and celebrating the new release. So that's kind of cool stuff. Viral things are happening.
So what do you think? How will the community take this? OpenSolaris and in general. I mean, what do you think is the significance of all of this stuff? What do you see happening in the next 6 to 12 months? Reaction just to the announcement, basically.
I'm hoping that we get a lot of people who had been looking to other places for the latest and greatest of technologies and realize that we're offering kind of the best of both worlds. We're offering not only all these wonderful leading edge technologies, we're incorporating all these things like GNU into our environment. We're of course sharing it with the rest of the world, but they also get all these things that Solaris has had for so very long. The life cycle is something that I think is a great benefit to people. Technologies like ZFS and dtrace, and by the way, I was just listening to Stephen Hahn talk about how cool, and Tim Kramer were talking about how cool dlight is, the latest extensions to dtrace technology. So it's a mashup, right? We're getting it all together, the leading edge and the foundation.
Wow, leading edge and the foundation. Cool.
What are the top 3 things that you want people to know?
This is a pretty significant change here for what's happening in the industry, to actually have a fully supported, redistributable release of OpenSolaris, something that people can actually get support for. So it's a fully supported operating system here that's open source, that's available for students, developers, people actually looking to build and deploy applications faster, have greater access to this technology, allowing them to become more innovative, to get their applications out there faster, to be able to share their solutions with our repositories that we have available out there. And OpenSolaris is supported on nearly 1,000 different systems out there in the marketplace today.
Where can people go? Can they just go to the OpenSolaris.com website to get all this information?
On May 5th.
Okay, on May 5th.
So on May 5th, they can go to OpenSolaris.com. There actually will be a new page on sun.com/Solaris where it will be very easy for you to understand. If you're interested in Solaris, go here. If you want to know more about OpenSolaris, go here. So certainly that information will be posted on that Sun property as well.
Yeah, I would recommend that any blogger who is confused at all about where OpenSolaris and Solaris go together, go to sun.com/Solaris come May 5th, because I think we've made it very clear to people how this all ties together.
After
One
all of
more
this,
thing.
I would recommend any blogger that's confused, don't write a blog. That would be my suggestion.
That's always a good one, yeah.
So, one more thing I want to add, that if people want to see the keynote, hear it, listen to the live sessions that are happening, go to sun.com/launch.
Okay.
And that's where they can actually get access to all the live stuff that's happening on May 5th and listen to all that stuff. So I encourage people to do that.
Great.
Right. So this sounds like this is a really significant announcement. I would say this is definitely something. What do you think?
Absolutely. Best Cinco de Mayo ever.
That's right. And there'll be a big party there too at Community One.
Why don't we
So.
just all introduce ourselves, say goodbye.
I'm Celia Roebuck.
I am Jeremy Barnish,
I'm Larry Waite.
And I'm Deborah Williams.
and this is something.
Is
Bye.
See ya!